is Michael McDonough, and I'm here from San Francisco in Berlin to work on a film version of Sight Unseen, a theater piece for one performer, for my dear friend, the very gifted Hermann Eppert. The piece originally was done in New York at the Bowery Poetry Club on the 9th of September 2010 by Sophia Holman, the actress, a young actress, very gifted. And that was done on stage. This one is changed a bit, so it will work on film as something much closer and much more intimate than the previous version, because the camera has been used as a kind of actor or participant in the piece. So I had to rethink it a bit, and so that's basically what it's about. The principal difference between stage and film is intimacy. In the stage we have an intimacy with the performer, but it's within the proscenium, within the frame. So everything is there and we can choose to look at what we want to look. In film, the image is within the frame and moves within the frame, and so we're constrained in a way, but our imaginations are freed in a certain way, more, I think, in film than in stage, because of the intimacy, the closeness, because there's a kind of direct address, especially in this piece. So the audience is privy to the thoughts of the individual, the man in this case, performing the piece, which is different from the intensity of a film version, a stage version, where you can look all over the stage. And, it's just a more distilled way, I think, of working.
Michael sent me his poem about a year ago, and I loved it. I was very fascinated about the feelings it created, the pictures that I had in my mind, and he suggested that we work together on it, on a film version of it. Now, I've been working with poets already twice who took part in a poetry film festival where it was supported that poets work together with filmmakers and create film versions of the poetry. So I loved this idea, and it took us a year to do it, and now it has happened. It was fun. I think what attracted me is a very particular mood. It's not just a feeling of fall, but also of letting go of. It's the feeling that something has come to an end, and you have to accept it, and which is always very hard. So I think that's something that I found very attractive, that spoke to me.
Well, it was a friend of mine, actually an ex. I think it was a melancholy around that, and also the time of year. It was written in November, December 1999 and finished in January of 2000. It's just a kind of melancholy, contemplative piece, and you actually don't know where things come from sometimes, because they float into your imagination. But I think it's not autobiographical in any way, shape, or form. But I think the circumstances had to do, from a personal point of view, with my own life, but in an abstracted. So it's not about me. So it has hopefully a more, I wouldn't say universal, but it more easy for the audience than just being about me or my experience. Because I don't write in a narrative style. It's not really, it's invented from feelings. That's the way I work. But they're not necessarily my feelings. When Sophia performed it, I rehearsed very closely with her, and we changed a lot of things, the lighting cues especially. It becomes a kind of abstract thing after you do it. It's like Stravinsky said, the intensity of involvement with the piece when you're writing it is, in a way, more interesting than after it's finished, because it becomes a thing that is given to the world, which may sound a little vainglorious or whatever. But I don't think of specific feelings. I just think that the piece should create a kind of mood by the words themselves. And the way I write, I don't write like a lot of postmodern poets in which the language circles around the meaning. The meaning should have a direct emotional impact. The image and the meaning should be the same. So it's a peculiar answer, I suppose, to your question, but I think that the intention I have forgotten. But it's a melancholy piece, and it's set in the winter and fall, so I mean, that may come into how people respond to it.